What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Gear Garden. This week we are taking a look at the Hyperlite Southwest 55 Dyneema backpack to see if the hype is worth it and to see what this pack is all about. So as we all know, the Hyperlite Southwest 55 is known for its durability, and that is due to the fact that it's made of a Dyneema composite material. There's two specific types that Hyperlite makes. They have the white and the black. The white one is a 50 denier, and the black is a 150 denier for I think it was only $25 more. This pack in general is kind of expensive, but in certain aspects you get with what you pay for. This is a rugged pack. You can do a lot more with it. You can take a lot more damage. It's much more waterproof, and I think that depending on what kind of backpacking you do, that price range is more suitable for the conditions you're taking it in. So Dyneema is known for its strength to weight ratio, meaning it's incredibly strong for just how light and how weatherproof it is. A lot of things you see in a REI are not made of Dyneema because this material is a lot more expensive to come up on and it costs a lot more to fabricate. The difference between the white and the black version, though, is merely small ounces. This pack comes in roughly around 2 pounds, which makes almost no difference compared to the white one, which I believe was off by a couple hairs of an ounce or something like that. So to me, I'd rather take the chance of having a much more rugged pack than one that's more vibrant and white and pops. Okay, let's talk about features. And I know that some people like having a ton of zippers, a ton of pockets. And I'm not going to lie to you, probably a couple years ago when I first saw this style of pack, I did not get it at all, but it was because my system was not completely dialed in. A roll top pack, and I tell everyone the same thing, a roll top pack is my absolute favorite, not only because it just looks cooler, but I like that I'm able to just stuff everything in there, but I have a system that I do it in. Like I said, features, there's not a ton of pockets on this pack, which to me is not an issue because I have systems in place for every piece of gear that I use. I have a bag that holds this particular amount of things, I have another bag that holds this amount of things, and everything sits in my pack like a giant Tetris game. So I'm a big fan of this style of pack as well. I also like that this pack comes with a Y strap that I don't need to purchase or add on myself. It's super convenient for adding bear cans or thermarests, or if you're somebody that likes to put your tent on the outside of your bag, you can strap it right to the top. No issue at all. It's got one massive front mesh pocket that's not really mesh on mine. It's with Dyneema composite material. I don't know the exact fabric style. Same with the two side pockets. And to be honest, I do have one complaint about the pack, and it is that the water bottles are kind of hard to actually get off when you're walking. And I've had to have all my buddies help me quite a few times, unless I'm using a super hard, like smart bottle that's filled up, I can hit it out. But maybe it's just because I'm not flexible enough, but I've never had this issue on any of my other packs. And I wish that they were a little bit lower as far as where they're sewn at, but I also understand the style and how tight they're sewn is most likely due to having extra waterproofing to things in your pockets. So it's one of those trade-offs. I will say that I do like that it has an internal frame that's not something that I can feel. I also really do enjoy the hip belt on this. I feel like I get a lot of support from it. The pockets on the hip belt are super spacious. I can actually open them with just one hand. I don't need to grab my other pocket and then use my other hand to unzip it, which I have a couple packs that you have to do that with as well. And I just like overall the feeling of the pack. I'd be lying if I said that the shoulder straps were the most comfortable things in the entire world, but I will say they don't beat around the bush. They give you just what you need. And I used this pack on the Hoover trip. I was supposed to use the Gorilla. I ended up getting this like the day before. Took it on a couple of trips now, and I'm not gonna lie, it says the weight rating is like 40 pounds that it can comfortably carry, and I had it almost to 40 pounds, and my shoulders were pretty miserable for about a day and a half. So until my pack weight got below 35, I don't believe that 40 is a justifiable comfort rating. I'm sure somebody out there will tell me that how different it is for them and how much better it is, but when you have packs like the Gossamer packs and REI packs that have tons of cushion that make you at least feel a little bit more comfortable off the rip, I definitely like that more. So I do wish that they had a little more cushion, but I don't hate it and I do like it for what it is. There is also a ton of tightening straps for the pack on the top and the bottom. You can cinch it down as tight as you can. Not to mention when you do the roll top, you can cinch it down on the sides and then also use the Y strap on top to really tighten it down even more. So Gear moving around is not something I've had an issue with this pack, even using a ton of gear or a little amount of gear. I've had experience with both. It also fits bear cans in it like nobody's business because it's a true 55-liter pack, 55 liters inside, not including everything on the outside, which to me is like the most true form of advertising. I can't stand sometimes when you get a pack that says it's a certain amount of liters, but that's not truly the liters inside like you would think it should be. So, say you're a new backpacker and you don't have your gear dialed and you have a bunch of bulky gear, you buy a 60-liter pack that can really hold like 30 inside, you're kind of out of luck because you don't know how to pack. So, I feel like in this case, a roll top 55-liter pack truly can hold 55 liters inside. So I'm a huge fan of that. There is one more thing I forgot to mention, and I did end up getting a tiny hole on it the first time I used it, but it is my fault. I'm very good with my gear, and I was super disappointed that I did this, but I was really exhausted after a long, like 18-mile day in the midst of the heat in the Hoover Wilderness, and I remember the pack was fully loaded, and I hit my back on the granite, and I went to rest it, and so I sat my pack back, and I heard it like kind of, and so that is my fault. It's not the pack's fault. I shouldn't be rubbing a fully blown pack on granite. Just stupid. Made the mistake. Learned from it. It's not the end of the world. The hole conveniently is like towards the top of the roll, so I can roll it down, and it's still pretty waterproof, but yeah, can't complain other than that. Thanks again for watching this video, guys. That is a wrap for today on the Hyperlite Southwest 55. If you like this video, please make sure you go down below, hit the like, leave a comment, subscribe, tell all your friends. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.